Hello, Precalculus students. I hope everybody is doing well. This is our first video of our hiatus, which I decided to devote to a little bit of review of the unit that we began before, just in case people forgot what the unit was about. If you recall, we were doing an introduction into polar coordinates. This idea of plotting points using a completely different system of as opposed to just using X and Y, the horizontal and vertical. So I wanted to just do a little bit of review today. I'm going to post some extra practice problems for you guys to try out. So let's get to it. So polar coordinates. So remember, polar coordinates still consist of an ordered pair, but instead of an X comma Y, we have an R comma theta. And the R just represents the distance from the origin. So the distance from the origin. So how far away you are from the origin. And theta is just the angle measured counterclockwise from the positive x-axis. So just like we've always done it using the unit circle. So counterclockwise, the opposite direction of a clock, starting from the positive side of the x-axis. Okay, so R is your distance from the pole. That's your R value, and your theta is just how much you're going counterclockwise. So let's look at a few points that we've plotted. Oh, and so these are the notes that you should have gotten before. It should be, I believe, day 106, if I remember correctly. Let me just quickly look at, I believe it's day 106. So just look at those notes. This is where I'm doing my presentation from those notes. So let's look at a few problems. So today we're just going to focus on this idea of how do you actually plot points? How do you plot points on the polar grid? So you'll see right off the bat that the polar grid does not consist of horizontal and vertical lines. Now it consists of circular circles, basically. So ABC, so A, remember the first number is how far away we are from the origin. Pi over 3 is our angle measured counterclockwise from the positive side of the x-axis. So pi over 3 would be right here. So we should be somewhere on this line. So now we're told to go 3 units away from the origin. So this is the origin, so we're going 3 units. So 1, 2, and 3. So that means our point would be right there. Okay, so once again, pi over 3 is our angle counterclockwise from the positive side of the x-axis, and then 3 units away from the origin. So that is where A would be. So now if we do B, so B would be pi over 6, so it would be somewhere on this line, 2 units from the origin, so 1, 2, so that means our point would be right there. And then finally, C, pi over 4 would bring us right here. So somewhere on this line. And we're 1 unit away from the origin, so just 1. So our point is going to be right there. So just a quick basic run through of how to plot points. So those are 3 basic examples. Let's look at some a little bit trickier. So these are the exact points that we plotted last time we went through this. So we have D. So remember, a negative angle means we measure it clockwise. So we measure it in the opposite direction. So the normal direction we go is counterclockwise. If our angle is negative, we're going to be doing it clockwise. So pi over 3 normally would be right here. Pi over 3 normally would be right here. So this is if we measured it counterclockwise, pi over 3 would be here. So, counterclockwise. So clockwise, pi over 3 would be the same distance, so it'd be this much. We're going this much, except we're going in the opposite direction, okay? So we're going the same distance. So if we go back here, we're going this much. So some of you in class, the strategy that you guys used was you counted. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how much we want to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, but we want to go in the clockwise direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where we would end up with on this line right here, and we're told 3 units away from the origin. So 1, 2, and 3. So that is why D ends up there. So now E, we have the positive angle pi over 6. Positive angle pi over 6, so it would be somewhere here. Except this time you notice that the R value is negative. So that means instead of counting in this direction 2 units, we're going to count 2 units in the opposite direction, okay? So this idea of being negative, whether your angle is negative or your R value is negative, it means you're going to be going in the opposite direction that you would normally go. So pi over 6 is here, so normally we would count 1, 2, but since it's negative 2, we're going to count in the opposite direction, so 1, 2. So that is why E ends up being here. And then finally F, so 5 pi over 4 would be over here, 5 pi over 4. So normally we would count 1 unit in this direction, since we want 5 pi over 4. But since it is negative 1, we will be counting 1 unit in the opposite direction. So that is where our negative 1 comma 5 pi over 4 would be. So that's just a quick review / rundown of how you plot polar points. I will be uploading some extra practice with just plotting points. So I do want you to give it a try. I will be providing extra credit in the homework category if you complete it. So the extra practice that I will be posting today, I will be providing extra credit if you complete it. If you want the extra credit, as soon as you complete it, just upload a picture and email it to me. That'll be the easiest way to do it, just so that I can give you the credit in terms if you do it. Like I said, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope this video is helpful. I hope everybody has been staying safe. Nobody has been getting sick. Otherwise, I wish that the rest of your day goes well, and I will see you later.